Blessings and welcome to the channel. This is Lady Be Unstoppable. In this video, you will be hearing from Mr. Vegas. He will be analyzing and assessing in his own way the scenario surrounding the Maroons and Chief Richard Curry. More you want to listen and watch the video till the end. Let me know your feedback. Let me know what you guys think about what Mr. Vegas had to say. Now, if you're new to this channel and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you will know whenever I upload more videos or whenever I go live. Just go and watch the video till the end and enjoy.
So we just join the program, we're going to dissect this the Curry and the Maroons. Yeah? So just come in, rope in, and just hold a seat. You see? Don't bother cheat. Just come in and hold a seat. And join the reasoning. And of course, Imhotep I go link in a few. Alright? Imhotep is a youth knowledgeable upon the subject matter. See? So we don't just want me alone to talk about it because we spoke about it already. And the reason why we have to talk about it now again is because I think that there's some ulterior motive go on. Okay? I think that there's some ulterior motive. I'm going to open up an eye this evening and the motives them. Why I believe that some form of motives. You see what I say? No. Perfecto. Perfecto. Look on your screen. I want to watch a video. Look on the image before we go into the video. And Imhotep is going to join the program. Now look on the image. This was posted by the Akompong Maroon chief. Yeah? Curry. Now, check this out. On March 1st, 2022, we commemorate and pay homage, yeah, to the firm and sacred treaty. I want to pay attention to them words, you know. The firm and sacred treaty, firm and sacred, between two sovereign nations. We will get into this, look more, this two sovereign nation business. See? So, this are the chief for the Akompong Maroons, where we see some man on the internet want to kill people over. I say people have to chop off and them thing there for them. Because them quote unquote sell out the money. But watch a man now. Watch a man now. In a Black History Month. Just check this out, you know. I'm going to show you how this whole thing is calculated, you know. And the disrespect against the ancestors them were had the rebellion suppressed by the Maroons them. This is what a man decided to put forward in a Black History Month. Just make that sink in, people. You see, a whole lot of Jamaicans and people outside are whole lot of Jamaicans in the diaspora. We notice once them see a train or go somewhere, them see somebody popular, or especially the females them. Once the females them have a peacock syndrome. It's a peacock syndrome like when the peacock have the pretty tail and the extra long feathers. You know, the peahen them want to mate. Or them see the peacock as a perfect candidate for them offspring, for bring offspring. Right? Or for reproduce with. So I understand that there is a peacock syndrome with especially the sisters them in the diaspora. Yeah? So a brother come forward and them see this brother as a strong warrior. And him smart and him articulate and all them things there. But look on this. Look at this post in a Black History Month. Celebrate the people that fight for them freedom. You see that? On March 1st, 2022, we commemorate and pay homage to the firm and sacred treaty. Firm and sacred. Sacred. That word the key, people. Sacred, So this man are calculated, people. A sacred treaty. What's sacred about the treaty? What is sacred about the treaty? Huh? What this Curry brother I think sacred about this treaty? Between two sovereign nations. As heir and successor to Captain Kojo, I take this opportunity on behalf of the Maroons. Now, we are going to get into that later, so I want to pay attention to him as him at the basically him at the heir to the throne. And successor to Captain Kojo. It's like Selassie, where the eight down in line, will force himself on the throne. And people run with it. Here to the throne. Let's talk about that later. So here the man said now, I take this opportunity on behalf of the Maroons to extend a warm welcome to the British Royals, Prince William, future King of England, and Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, on their proposed visit to the island in March 2022. You see? I tell you, so diplomacy are coming now, and I guess L.A. Lewis can meet with them. So if L.A. Lewis can meet with, if L.A. Lewis did post this, say, well, everybody will laugh at L.A. Lewis and I ridicule him. You see? So may I ask you a question now. Let's be realistic on this. One of the things that the Duchess and the Prince are going to come to Jamaica and where am I going to go? For Maroon Town? Well, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. But let's see. But if L.A. Lewis did say it, that's a wishful thinking. I'm a madman. Don't it? Big up yourself, Dottie. When I say L.A. Lewis a madman, we say it. So the man say, Zin? That's what the man say. The man say, and the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, on their proposed visit in March 2022. I take this opportunity on behalf of the Maroons to extend a warm welcome. Now, is this a joint statement from all of the Maroons? Because remember saying one set of Maroons in Jamaica, So this goes back to the argument of, them go meet to the Prime Minister and leave out the Akompong in the Akompong chief. But this man say, I take this opportunity on behalf of the Maroons to extend warm welcome. The Maroons is this just the Akompong Maroons or this I go for every Maroon. So let's say him link with the Maroons and the Maroons say, yeah man, put out that statement there. That means that the whole of the Maroons basically I said the treaty was sacred. A sacred treaty. Sacred. Now, I want to pay attention to something key. That's why I want to know the history and know who listen to on internet. I notice who like them things here when you see them, put them up, or when them try rub salt into wound. When you see that on the screen, look on the screen. What that? When you see who like it, a man is supposed to deal with ancestral type of, reverence. You see, talk, them talk, you know. Them always talk, but them talking don't mean nothing, people. You see? Them talking don't mean nothing. See, people in the comment was like, what? So come at the real deal, say she lost. You must have them thing there, you know. So somebody say, really? But the applause them did it too. See, Teflon, yeah? This is supposed to be an artist, I guess. I don't know. I put a fire emoji. Because them ignorant to history. And ignorant to them ancestors. You see? Them ignorant. Ignorance is a choice. Yeah? Empress, isn't the future king Prince Charles and Queen consort Camilla? Prince William is much later down the line of succession if the monarchy even stands. Anyway, isn't Jamaica trying to separate from its colonial masters? It's always somebody in the comment to ask, you know, isn't Jamaica trying to separate from its colonial masters? No. This man here say, yo, you might welcome them. But then this man here tell about Andrew Woolness, a puppet for the Queen. But look who is welcoming them. See that? So the man say now, say, okay, him need to welcome them because what? Him need to, because what? Because of them zaddy. Because them own them. According to what them say. And them forefathers, them it seems. Now, let's just, a picture tells 1,000 words. What is this? Duck hunting? And this is supposed to be who? Kodja? Who is? A Kodja that? Who is that supposed to be? Eh? What is this? Duck hunting? Or slave hunting? Let's check the picture. This is how it's supposed to be now. This sacred. The man post this picture, Black History Month, and say, sacred treaty. Just understand that. We're going to bring in Brother Imhotep. We get him 2 cents on this. You might mute, brother.
Yeah, man. Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light, family. Oh, yeah, go on.
Thanks. Give thanks. I've had a little late start, but you know, so business come. I have to take care of it.
Word.
Give me a 2 cents on this picture here. What is the message here?
Yeah, it's kind of convoluted in a way, you know. It's kind of confusing because one would try to tie in the photo with the post of Richard Curry, right? So one would assume that this photo is a depiction of the peace treaty, you know, but at the same time, it's not a reflection. You know, I mean, for someone to analyze that photo, they will be looking at to say, well, it's like a maroon, a look upon a British man in a skepticism, in a skeptical way. If it was supposed to depict a peace treaty, then we're supposed to see like a document, a sign, or some paperwork in a hand and then something there. You understand what I say?
Are them exchange blood? Like my boy did say.
Yeah, well, that is folklore. That never happens still.
Daniel said, Kojo cut him hand.
Fairy tale.
And the white man cut him hand and them exchange blood.
Blood code, fairy tale.
But what's funny, Daniel came on the program and created a whole and took like 3 hours to tell us that the treaty is where we are read. The treaty where we are read is rubbish or it's not valid. But now the Maroon chief, I use the treaty where Daniel said invalid.
Yeah, and let's talk about that treaty there a little bit, right? That 1739 treaty. Richard Curry.
Me go bring it up. Me go bring it up.
Yeah.
So me can't say it by program now.
Yeah, so I just want to point out that the Treaty of 1739 was only applicable to the Trelawney Town Maroons.
Let us bring in the treaty since you're at it. Let us bring in the treaty. All right, so this has come from a reputable university, all right? So this is basically the treaty. You can see it?
Yeah, man.
All right. So we want to go through this treaty before we even get to this. I don't want to get down so far yet. So this is the sacred treaty, brother. This man called this a sacred treaty, bro.
Word.
Zin?
Yes.
So we dissect this already. But now that we have the people them a curry favor, I get caught up with the curry flavor, we could dissect it again. Zin? So in the name of God, amen, we're as cap. Because remember, I said this is what the chief are using. So there's no argument now that Kojo cut him and give the white man blood and the white man exchange blood with him. This is what they're using. This is what him quote every time him talk about the ancestors them and say the ancestors them
all right
could have joined the Maroons them and they did not. You see? So articles of pacification with the Maroons of Trelawney Town. You see where you just see a while ago?
Mm-hmm.
That is key where you just see a while ago.
Very
So all the
important.
other Maroons them, all the other
Very
Maroons them,
important.
all the other Maroons them we make up nice, you know. That means we need to educate ourselves, people. We need to educate ourselves. We're in an era where information is privy. We can't just load up and make a bag of nice and we have information at our fingertips. What Imhotep just said is key. The treaty is only between the Maroon towns, the Trelawney Town Maroon them.
Yeah, because before it was named Trelawney Town, it was named Kojo Town. Because it was built by Kojo. You get what I said? It was built by Kojo, you know, so it was called Kojo Town before it was called Trelawney Town. Because remember, the peace treaty was between the white man named Trelawney, Edward Trelawney, which the parish named after him.
So a lot of people never even know that Trelawney is actually a white man.
yeah, word. So the initial name was Kojo Town until they changed it to the Trelawney Town Maroons. So that's why they made sure they put it in writing that the treaty was between the Treaty of 1738-1739 was between the Trelawney Town Maroons, Kojo, and the Trelawney Town Maroons, which is the Trelawney Town Maroons headed by Kojo. Nobody else.
So it have nothing to do with the Windward Maroons them?
It has nothing to do with the Windward Maroons. They actually had to go back and do a different treaty. The reason being, because let's go back a little bit further, right? The first so-called slave rebellion took place in like 1690, right? The person who was the leader of that slave rebellion was said to be the father of Kojo. You get what I'm saying? Now, Kojo, it is said, is related to Kwao and Nani. You get what I'm saying? So when the British did the peace treaty, they did the treaty as Kojo being the leader for everybody, the Windward and the Leeward Maroons, when that was not the case. So that's why
there was already a Maroon war before Kojo them and the British war.
Yeah, because we can go back to 1655, right, when the British first invaded Jamaica, right? There was one de Bolas, which no one speaks about, right? There was one de Serras. So there were two different Maroon groups. When the British invaded, right, the British got one de Bolas to fight on their side. They were paying him as a mercenary to fight on their side. And one de Serras was fighting on the side of the Spanish. After the Spanish left for Cuba, right? Then there was a war between Juan de Bolas and Caceres and Juan de Ceras. You get what I'm saying? So that was Juan de Bolas was one of the first Maroon leaders, and Juan de Ceras was one of the other ones, and they were both fighting against each other. Back to COJO now, as it relates to the 1738 treaty. That treaty was applicable to only the Trelawney Town Maroons. That's why the British had to go back and do a separate treaty with the Windward Maroons. So it was 2 treaties that the British did within a 1-year period. A lot of people are not aware of that. So even the Accompang Town Maroons, they were not a party to the 1738 treaty. Accompang Town was built by COJO and he left his brother Accompang in charge of Accompang Town. That's the reason why the treaty states that if Captain COJO should die, then Accompang should take over. You get what I'm saying?
We'll get to that part. So in the name of God, amen, we're as Captain COJO, Captain so what you know?
Yeah.
So you're right, 2 different people are dealing. So we're as Captain COJO, Captain Accompang, see? So enough people think that Captain COJO is Captain Accompang, you know, brother?
No, that was his brother. That was his brother.
So when the people them say, oh, COJO them sign peace treaty and all of them things there. So them link, a lot of people have this mix up. Are 2 different people, you know?
Yes, because there are 2 different tones.
So it makes sense the way you have said just now. Say 2 different tones.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Accompang Town have nothing to do with Trelawney Town?
No, nothing at all. The only thing were that they were brothers. You get what I'm saying? COJO built Accompang Town, left Accompang in charge of it, and then COJO went and built COJO Town, which was later named Trelawney Town. That's right. But because COJO's father was the first leader of the slave uprising in 1690, that's why he was the one who was ordained as the leader for the Maroons at that time. And remember, there was the Leeward Maroons and there was the Windward Maroons. So it was 2 different factions. Their leadership styles were totally different as well, because for the Leeward Maroons, they had a patriarchal system. It was about kinship. Right. You get what I'm saying? It was about bloodline. So when Richard Curry is saying that he is here to the tune, Richard Curry will have to prove his bloodline to COJO or Accompang or Captain Johnny. You get what I'm saying? Not to veer off a little bit, but one of the first superintendents, the white man with them put in charge of Trelawney Town, because when COJO died in 1764, COJO died, Accompang left Accompang Town, went to Trelawney Town, and wanted to say he is here to the tune of both towns. The governor at the time rebuked him, right? Took away the badge and gave it to a superintendent, right? And funnily, in 1770, there was a superintendent named Curry, spelled the same way. So I don't know if Curry related to this white superintendent named Curry. But he was the first superintendent, meaning that he was in charge of the Trelawney Town Maroons. So I don't know if that's where he is tracing his lineage from, but he would have to verify his lineage from COJO and Accompang and Captain Johnny.
You see, the thing about it, you know, Curry, they must sit down with the interviewers, them, where showing paper questions and some look soft questions. And how him come here to the throne. Him not go up on the platform because we were going. Him have the people them were gullible. That is the thing, you know. He has the people them were gullible, and the whole thing is all about emotions. Everybody does emotional about this brother will come and him a fight for the people and him a fight for the people. And the government want to take away the land and want to mine the cockpit country and all them things. So everybody get caught up in them feelings. And I understand, say, I think there's an underlying issue here, or an underlying agenda. You see what I say? So make you try to get through this because I will be passing. So thanks to clear up that still. So now we have it say, the Trelawney Town, this treaty was between the white man and the Trelawney Town Maroons.
Facts.
That
Facts.
means that the Prime Minister right way, say.
Facts.
So all who did that make up nice and about the Prime Minister, see it? We don't have evidence enough to know say we not let me know. So whereas Captain Kojo, Captain Akompong, Captain Johnny, Captain Coffee, Captain Kwaku, right, and several other Negroes. So the wickedest thing, you notice all of them name Captain.
Mm-hmm.
You can say at the white man night them, you know.
Correct.
Captain.
Correct.
Look, this man said this is sacred. This is a sacred treaty. We all of them name Captain. Why did them name Captain? Because the white man ordained them. You see what I say? So, and several other Negroes, their dependents and adherents have been in a state of war and hostility. I must war them once here, so for several years past against our sovereign lord, the king, and the inhabitants of this island, and whereas peace and friendship among mankind and the preventing of effusion of blood is agreeable to God, consonant to reason and desired by every good man, and whereas His Majesty George II, King of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, and of Jamaica, Lord Defender of the Faith, and has by his letters patent dated February the 24th, 1738, in the 12th year of his reign, granted full power and authority to John Guthrie and Francis Sadler, Esquires, to negotiate and finally conclude a treaty of peace and friendship with the aforesaid Captain Kojo. You see that? And the rest of his captains, adherents, and others, his men, they mutually, sincerely, and amicably have agreed to the following articles. Now, here are the articles now. I have a problem coming now, brother. You see? I have a problem coming now. First, the hostility shall cease on both sides forever. You see this? This key. Forever. Because remember saying, when the white man them did not encroach upon the quote-unquote maroon them land, remember them start a war again, you know?
You're talking about the second Maroon War?
Yeah.
Let's go through this and we're gonna talk about the second Maroon War because
no. What I'm showing you, read this,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
This the first thing, you know. Read this, brother.
Yeah. That it has to. There should be no more war between both parties. Never.
So you know that this treaty is null and void.
Once
because
a war.
they had a second war.
Correct.
You see that, brother?
Correct.
This is the first thing, you know. So all what about say, oh, the treaty stands on no treaty, no.
Suubi, not to interrupt though, but the funny part is this, right? The second Maroon War of 1795 was started by the Trelawney Town Maroons. They are the ones who broke the treaty.
So did they re-sign a treaty?
No, they never re-signed no more treaty because the 1795 Maroon War, you know, look on the irony of it, you know, brother, right? I know we're gonna go through the treaty, right? The 1795 Maroon War was started by the Trelawney Town Maroons, and they were disgruntled because two of their own Maroons were caught and tried for stealing 2 pigs. Right. Listen what the white man do, you know. The white man allow a slave to flog them. You get what I'm saying? In the presence of other slaves. The irony of it is that the slave who flogged them are the same slave where the Maroons and they capture and return to the white man.
And I saw them get sent back to Nova Scotia when the white man tricked them and tell them to come
No,
peace
I'm talking about the part where the captured slave, the Maroons, them captured the man and him back over to the white man because they were paid like $2, right? £2, whatever per slave. Them capture the slave, return him back to the white man. The same white man allowed that slave to beat the 2 Maroons who were accused of stealing the pigs. And while they were beating the 2 Maroons, the other slaves who the Maroons them captured to and return, did I mock them and I jeer the Maroons. And that started the second Maroon War in 1795.
But what I'm saying is that so the white man did end up trick them and tell them to come out of the mountain, them are have a peaceful talk and then them deport them.
Yeah, so after this, during the second Maroon War, right?
Right.
You know, they brought some dogs from Cuba.
Cuba, yeah.
Brought some dogs from Cuba, right? They
And
chilled on the town.
Maroon them couldn't deal with them.
No, the Maroons them couldn't deal with them. So guess what happened now? They agreed to a peace agreement. But listen to this now, you know, right? They have to beg for forgiveness from their Lord the King. You get what I'm saying? What happened as well is that the lieutenant governor at the time had promised them that they would not be, you know, displaced or anything like that. And I saw them stab them in the back and send them go Nova Scotia, over 500 of them, from the Trelawney town. And the irony of it is that they left from Nova Scotia, went to Sierra Leone, right? And some of them still ended up back in Jamaica, in the place they called Flagstaff, which was an original Maroon village. But the whole irony of the 1795 Maroon War was a returned slave where the Maroons them capture B2 Maroons. And the slaves them where them capture to a laugh off of them. And say like, see they know, like a man I say, yo, today for me, tomorrow are you. And they never like that. So that started the second Maroon War. So in actuality, the Trelawney town Maroons were the ones to breach the treaty.
And none, all right. So secondly, so we could go where them go wide. And secondly, that they said Kojo, right? The rest of his captains, adherents, and men shall forever hereafter in a perfect state of freedom and liberty, excepting those who have been taken by them or fled to them within 2 years last past. If such are willing to return to their said masters and owners with full pardon and indemnity from their said masters or owners for what is past, provided always that if they are not willing to return, they shall remain in subjection to Captain Kojo. You know what this means? They must remain a slave to Captain Kojo. You want to stop playing with me, you know?
And I just want to interject a little bit there, because guess what happened now, Suubi? The British Assembly had to even go back and amend the peace treaty to say that the Maroons cannot have slaves up there. Because this part, right, had to be amended.
But check this out. Check what this man here come put in a Black History Month. Say sacred. This man here and BUJU and nobody like it. Right? This man here put in a Black History Month. Say this treaty is sacred. What it say? It say if they are not willing to return, they shall remain in subjection to Captain Kojo.
Yes. And
in friendship with us according to the form and tenor of this treaty. Thirdly, they shall end. But you see, everybody, them everybody sell out. So what is? Expecting those who have been taken by them or fled to them within 2 years last. So that means that anybody would come to 2 years before the treaty, we have to return them. So imagine this. We sign a treaty, so here all I wouldn't wait to run with 2 years now. We never go back. So the argument with this man here come and say, he might put out video. And the slave, or whatever call them, had the opportunity to join with the Maroons or what?
That was when the Maroons were free and had their autonomy. And that period was from 1655 to 1770.
Right.
Because within that time, right, 1655 to say 1738, that was the only time when the Maroons had their freedom and autonomy, in that slaves who ran away could join the Maroons, because that was how it started. Anyone who fled from 1655 to 1736, 38, they were free to join the Maroons. Nobody could compel them to return, and no Maroons could return them. You get what I'm saying?
No, that's 1738, because when the treaty was signed, 1738, right?
1738, good.
What it is saying, it is saying 2 years prior to 1738.
Correct.
Right? Them must return them, or if them no want return, Kojo must keep them in subjection.
Correct.
Right? One cannot be subject to another than a prince. When they desire the relationship of the Maroons to Captain Kojo as subjection, one must ask, who is the second party in the relationship of subjection? One does not describe a relationship between a colonial governor and the people governed as subjection. Rather, one describes the relationship between a monarch and their subjects. So that means a Kojo will literally rule over them.
Correct.
And in a friendship with us, according to the form of the 10 of this treaty. Thirdly, they shall enjoy and possess for themselves and posterity forever all the lands. Now, this is where them conveniently hold on to. Right? Everything else, no, what we talk about, but we need to have to return slaves if we don't want that privilege. We need to have to help the white man to suppress all rebellion if we don't wanted this freedom or this privilege.
Yeah, and Suubi, it's important for us to note that 1,500 acres was given to the Chilani Town Maroons.
No, we get to that now. See it here. And this is important with the video I'm going to play after. With Miss Sister Kabu Mahat. Right? This is key. I want you all to take note of this. And this rings again to what you said earlier about the Trelawney Town. Only the Trelawney Town Maroons this treaty was for.
Got the 1,500 acres, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
It's for themselves and prosperity forever, all the lands situated and lying between Trelawney Town and the cockpits.
Correct.
To the amount of 1,500 acres, bearing northwest from the said Trelawney Town.
Correct.
Fourthly, they shall have liberty to plant the said lands with coffee, cocoa, ginger, tobacco, and cotton, and to breed cattle, hogs, goats, or any other flock, and dispose of them of the produce or increase of the said commodities to the inhabitants of this island, provided always. And when they bring the said commodities to market, they shall apply fish to the customs or any other magistrate of the respective parishes where they expose their goods to sale. Fifthly, that Captain Kojo and all the captains, adherents, and people now in subjection to him, you hear that? Now in subjection to him, the people who are under him, shall all live together within the bounds of Chile. Watch it again now. Watch it, brother. Watch it. Shall all live together within the bounds of Trelawney Town, and that they have liberty to hunt where they shall think fit, except within 3 miles of any settlement, kraal, or pen, provided always that in case the hunters of Captain Kojo and those of other settlements meet, then the hogs to be equally divided between both parties. That means the man will say, yo, if we don't go hunt hog outside of Trelawney Town, you know, 3 miles outside of Trelawney Town, you know, that means we don't have to share up the hog with the people in from that settlement there, you know. Sixthly, this is how the Captain Curry love quote. That the said Captain Kojo and his successors do use their best endeavors to take sacred treaty.
Yes.
Mr. Curry.
Yes. Blood oath treaty.
And people will love curry flavor. And Mr. BUJU Bantan was supposed to be a freedom fighter and supposed to talk about ancestors and all and something there.
Yeah, if you know better, man.
You over there like a post where a man had said a treaty was sacred, brother. No, BUJU. Me lose half of you, brother. You supposed to correct curry, BUJU Bantan. A man spend so much times in a lockdown, me know so you must at least come across them information here. Or me don't know. Or if you don't come across the information, then maybe you need to study it. You need to correct curry. Sixthly, that the said Captain Kojo and his successors do use their best endeavors to take, kill, suppress, or destroy either by themselves or jointly with any other number of men commanded on that service by His Excellency the Governor or Commander-in-Chief for the time being, all rebels, wheresoever they be throughout the island, unless they submit to the same terms of accommodation granted to Captain Kojo and his successors.
All right. So this Suubi is applicable to also the Windward Maroons and any other Maroons. You get what I'm saying? What the British were doing, you know, they were playing a game. They were setting up Kojo, right, and the Trelawney Town Maroons against anybody at all. So be it slaves or Maroons, if Maroons from the Windward were to rise up, then Kojo had to go and do what? Suppress that rebellion. And we saw that throughout the course of history.
This man I come tell me, say. This man I come tell the people them now. In a video. That the slaves them had a choice to join with the Maroons. That
was before the treaty.
No, him attack after the treaty.
Well, after the treaty is nonsense.
Oh, because you know, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna fight and play it. Because the man said they had a deal with the British state, an extradition deal. And this is it right here. This is where I'm love recite. This sacred. To kill, suppress. This is what happened to Taki. This is how them kill. This is how them kill Ikua or Aqua.
Sam Sharp.
This is where the Sam Sharp rebellion only was able to get underway because the Maroons them did a stand out to them pay.
Coffee too. You know, they suppress coffee.
3 Finger Jack.
Word.
Paul Bogle. We're not sure. But based on the history, we know about Paul Bogle.
Correct. That's facts. That's historical facts.
And the Maroons them suppressed the Paul Bogle's rebellion. West Sacred Body Treaty, Mr. Curry. From Black History Month. And you tell me, say, few big words. No mean, say, me know nothing about world history or whatever. Come on, brother. Oh, where I bring up this for? No, me I bring up this because guess what? I will not stand idly and are idle and watch and listen to nonsense or people proliferate garbage or disrespect the ancestors and will fight for we come out of chains and shackles. The true ancestors and the truth fighter them. Where start rebellions, Sam Sharp rebellions and them rebellions. And them are the true heroes. And them with a venerate. Every year when I run gone up a Maroon town, but when I go venerate Maroons. And the man I remind you know what the Maroons them did to the rebellions. This is where him love recite. Sixthly. But him read the part then when him want to read out. Him not read out the part for telling us say, do use their best endeavors to take, kill, suppress, or destroy, either by themselves or jointly with any other men. Other men commanded on that service by His Excellency Governor. Them Zaddy when him offspring them a come to Jamaica, we matter about welcome. Welcome where you own way. Welcome nobody. You have a Jamaican, you have Jamaican documents. Me guarantee you that a Jamaican documents you have. So you're going to say you have a different state to welcome the man if you go through your border. Please. Sixthly, that in case this island be invaded by any foreign enemy, the said Captain Kojo and his successor, hereinafter named or to be appointed, shall then, upon notice given, immediately repair to any place the governor for the time being shall appoint, in order to repel the said invaders with his or their utmost force, and to submit to the orders of the commander-in-chief on that occasion.
Good.
So that means even foreigners invade Jamaica right now, at the Queen lands same way. So the Maroon them supposed to defend Jamaica even now.
Not only that, but they could not fight you know, in their own independent, autonomous way. They had to be under the direction and the orders of whoever the governor appoints. You get what I'm saying? So what a lot of people don't realize that this treaty, this 1738 treaty, bounded the Maroons in servitude rather than freedom. Because prior to the 1738 treaty, the Maroons were free to plant anything, anywhere. If you go back to, I think it was the fourth article number 4, where they're talking about they can plant this and plant that. Notice there was no sugarcane. The British forbid the Maroons from planting sugarcane. So if the Maroons were free and autonomous, how can the British forbid them from planting sugarcane?
On them own land.
On them own land. And the Maroons could not plant sugarcane. And that's a fact. So it shows that their autonomy and independence was taken away from them with the 1738 treaty.
Wow. Wow. You see the problem I have with the media, brother. The media personalities, them are the interviewers, them go interview this brother here. And them don't pull up the treaty one and question him on them things here. Why is the Maroons them? Why is the treaty sacred? Remember, so we not blame the offsprings of them people. Because enough of the people who are going to live up there, them have no form of biological connection to the Asian people. Them. Enough of them are people from all over Jamaica go up there and claim that they are Maroons.
Yes.
My mother could have claimed that she is Maroon. She come from St. Elizabeth. You see me I say?
Yes.
So my mother maybe a descendants from up there. Yeah? So, and if you look at her features, she have the straight African features. So maybe she come from up there. Maybe not, because them start interbreed with the white man. So maybe that's why Daniel look half white.
Suubi, one of the biggest misrepresentations we have seen being spoken about by the Maroons is the 1,500 acres that they were allotted. And we're talking about these current Richard Curry, a compound town Maroons, are saying that they were given 1,500 acres.
15,000. They said they were given 15,000.
Well, based on the treaty, based on the records, right? Based on the records, a compound town got 1,000 acres. 1,000 acres, a compound town. The Trelawney town got the 1,500 acres. Not the compound town Maroons.
Okay. Got you. All right, so with their seventhly, yes, so already seventhly, so they must help. They must fight with the British them if anybody try to take over the island. So that means, you know what this mean? I use them get using, brother. That
they
means
must subject themselves.
If the Haitians them, right, they decide they're going to bring the war to Jamaica, the freedom fight to Jamaica.
The Maroons have no choice.
They fight and fight against the Haitian them.
Have to. So they subjected themselves to that. That's not freedom.
Now, the white man didn't know say a revolution are going over there, so you know, brother.
Correct.
So them must put in place to stop all revolution. Sacred where? All the Maroon have to sacred and then put in place to stop all revolution. We cannot sacred treaty this man you talk about. Eighthly, that if any white man shall do any manner of injury to Captain Kojo, his successor, or any of his other of their people, they shall apply to any commanding officer or magistrate in the neighborhood for justice. That means that them can't even try them up there.
See again, them freedom's gone.
They can't even try them up there or deal with it up there if a white man touch none of them or hurt none of them.
Facts.
And in case Captain Kojo or any of his people shall do any injury to any with a person, he shall submit himself or deliver up such offenders to justice.
And that is to the magistrate who represent the people.
Autonomous. Only for autonomous, and if a man touch you, you have to go report it to the court.
The magistrate of the region, the parish or whatever.
So when the Prime Minister said he don't know about no two sovereign states, the man right. You can't be a sovereign state.
Might sound away, but it's right.
You can't be a sovereign state, and if you're injured, a white man up there, you have to turn over yourself. And if a white man injure you, you have to go turn. You have to go see
to the crown
justice from the crown. Come on, bro. That means that when you go into the court system, you have to say, God bless the Queen. When you go into the court system, you have to go deal with the judge, them and everybody in the system, the jury, everybody. Yeah? Ninthly, that if any Negroes shall hear this now, so they might reiterate I think it's what 2. Ninthly, that if any Negroes shall hereafter run away from their masters or owners, and shall fall into Captain Cudjoe's hands, they shall immediately be sent back to the chief magistrate of the next parish where they are taken. And these that bring them are to be satisfied for their troubles, as legislature shall appoint. The assembly granted a premium of 30 pieces of silver, 30 shillings, for each fugitive slave returned to his owner by the Maroons, beside expenses. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. In some accounts it says $2. But either way, money was the reward.
Brother, the white man didn't know so the Maroons are Judas. That's why they give them 30 pieces of silver. That if you understand, brother, use the white man, use the Maroons them. What treaty sacred? What can I say?
Prior to 1738, no runaway slaves were returned. None.
The man them sell out, the man them are Judas. To this day, yeah, traitors, Judas. So when I run go now, Hannah Maroons, uno all sell out, you see uno people ancestors and bleed to death and work to death and fight to the death. Uno run come no bona run go Maroon town a year time, but uno give reverence and a beat drum. Uno some sell out. Uno know history. And anybody will forget them history, I don't study them history, bound to repeat it. Understand that. Ninthly, that if any Negroes shall hereafter run away. Remember, say Daniel said this treaty is not valid and a blood them using on. Curry the captain at this him a use. At this him a present to the public. And at this dep on record. This is what is on record. So we can't go around this. These are the only piece of document where them can go after with anything where they matter about.
Facts.
You understand? So what's sacred about the Maroons them? Nothing is sacred about the Maroons them. The Maroons them are the traitor. The treaty where the Maroons them signed was to return Negroes for 30 pieces of silver that are documented. If we are going to honor the Maroons them, why we not honor the white man who take we out of Africa? Why don't we honor the white man? Why Mr. Rasta man like BUJU Banton? I like them posts here, we Korea post about sacred treaty. Then why BUJU Banton don't honor the white man who put us into slavery? Why they are the Rastafari them when we see us support the Maroons them? Why is it that we don't honor the white man we take we out of Africa? If we are going to honor the people, then we work with the white man to suppress every rebellion. Jamaica was supposed to be the first society or state or country or whatever you want to call it to get freedom.
Suubi, not to interrupt, but the Haitian Revolution was influenced by what transpired in Jamaica. Even the Taki rebellion that inspired the Haitian Revolution.
Brother, remember,
Haiti took us as a marker.
Why do you think Bookman Runway left Jamaica? The Maroons they make Bookman Runway. Know that people. Bookman ran away to Haiti and gave them the idea and link up with the Haitian, the Africans, them with the side there, over there. So it was Bookman's idea to start the revolution in Haiti. And him dead early in the war. Know that. So when una run by una Maroons and una basically a spit on ancestors them grave. The true freedom fighters, the true fighters them were dead. The true fighters like Taki them. The true fighters them where the Maroons them kidnap and handed over to the white man to hang them down a parade. The reason why it's called parade is because them used to put them up on display. So nobody else start a revolution. So them put them on display for days like and make them carcass bust down a parade. That's why it named parade. Understand that. So there's nothing to venerate about the Maroons them. So this man come Black History Month. I talk about treaty sacred. This man is an agitator. I'm telling you, you know. Him not have no respect for the ancestors. I guarantee you say him is not no lineage. Him lineage don't link with Kojo. I guarantee you that. Me pay him if him lineage link to Kojo.
As Mr. Suubi, the only person affiliated with the Maroon community was the superintendent, the white man named Curry. And you know, he was in charge of the Maroon community. So contrary to popular belief, because if we follow like Curry them and Daniel them, we would think that from the 1738 treaty, come all the way to now, there was a succession of the Maroon lineage. That was not the case. There were for many years where it was white superintendents who ruled over the Maroons. They never had a chief, unless the superintendent appointed a figurehead. So a lot of us will assume, say, well, a long time the Maroon chief them come up the line up to this day. That was not the case. That was never the case. There were times when a white man rule over the Maroon towns.
We're going to get to that. Look again. The white man put it in the treaty about 3 or 4 times, reminding Kojo and the sellout them and the traitors them what is their main purpose, brother. See it again, 10thly, that all Negroes taken since the raising of this party by Captain Kojo's people shall immediately be returned. So when Mr. Curry talk about the slaves them, or the Africans them had a choice to join with the Maroons, you only can tell that to the done-said Jamaicans them and the done-said people them where look likes. And the fly by night them will see you as a good baby father. Because them see you as a strong lion. But you can't fool the real sisters them boy when you have the peacock syndrome. You see that? That means anybody will run away after the peace treaty, 2 years prior to the peace treaty and after. Captain Kojo swear to return them to the white man. Understand that. 11thly, that Captain Kojo and his successors shall wait on His Excellency or the Commander-in-Chief for the time being every year if thereunto required. What does it mean?
Them subject themselves again to the crown.
What am I wait upon you, so?
I don't know at all.
This is ambiguous, right? The concept of waiting on His Excellency implies a certain subservience, as if a Kojo was a courtier. However, it is equally likely that it was merely an agreement to keep negotiations, the lines of communication open, expressed in ignorant colonial style. Even if this is not the British intent, it is doubtlessly the way it was explained to the Maroons. Right? No slave will revolt, win his sovereignty, and then agree to be subservient to it. You see this? Read this, brother. No slave would revolt, win his sovereignty, and then agree to be subservient to his enslaver. This is exactly what the Maroons did. Claims to them win them freedom, but then after you wait for the white man, the slave master them every year for anything where they want, any changes, any this, any that. So they were subservient to who? To the enslavers. And I talk about them free way. 12, that Captain Kojo during his life and the captains succeeding him shall have full power to inflict any punishment they think proper for crimes committed by their men among themselves. Death only excepted. In which case, if the captain thinks they deserve death, he shall be obliged to bring them before any justice of the peace, who shall order proceedings on their trial equal to those of other free Negroes.
Again, where is the autonomy and the independence?
Or your sovereign and you have to go in
That's
front.
right. That's right.
So all who did that cuss out the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister said no about no two sovereign state. Rubbish. And this man come double down and get the loggerhead them.
Riled up.
Riled up. The whole loggerhead them when I read. The whole loggerhead them when I do no research in that era when I have a smartphone is smarter than one. But when Chief Curry. Man have no sovereignty.
Nah. Well, we'll soon find out. Continue, man. Continue with the cheating.
13th, that Captain Kojo with his people shall cut, clear, and keep open large and convenient roads from Trelawney Town to Westmoreland and St. James, and if possible to St. Elizabeth. Why is this possible? Why is it so? Because the white man want access.
Not only that, they are what? Working for the white man because they have to cut the road. The white man want access, but the white man not cut the road. And them have to go cut the road, so free labor that. The treaty never paid them for that, you know, brother. That a slave labor.
Good catch.
You get what I say? Them have to cut out the road so the white man can have access. So if anything go on, them can come up there easily. And they never pay them for that.
And this man is welcoming the future king and the duchess. Yeah. He must put a red carpet. Because truth be told, I use the Maroons them.
Facts.
Use them and dump them like trash.
Make them cut out all the road them for free. You know how hard that is? To them Hilitarians there.
Michael Solomon Burke asked, did the Maroons have a choice? Yes, the Maroons had a choice. 100% the Maroons had a choice. If they were not suppressing, when Taki took on started the revolution, he had the white man them on them heels. Taki them get some poison powder, where they must say Obia, and when they go so. And that's how the Haitian them dirty bookman carry it over Haiti and teach the Haitian them about the poison and plants them, where them powder it out, and when they go so, the white man them can't see. The white man them not see which part them turn. So the people them say Obia. So the Maroons then come and say, no man, we have better Obia, man. Boom. We can't get around the Obia. Because the white man start afraid of the thing when they call Obia. That's why them get death sentence for Obia. Yeah,
Suubi, since you're talking about Obia, right? You see, back in Maroon history, Obia was a title. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
The most influential person, apart from the chief, was the Obia. That was the person's title. You get what I'm saying? Especially among the Windward Maroons, where, you know, they said Nani was one of the leaders. The Obia was the advisor to Nani. So that person was revered. So Obia is not only the ritual or the practice, but that was a title that was highly revered because that person was considered to be spiritually wise and could perform certain rituals and acts. So they were called a Obia. That's why we get the term Obia man or Obia woman.
This brother named Russ Gottites, whatever his name. What and who is a Maroon? Vegas need to stop talking, whatever. Me don't know what you talk about Russ Gottites.
If him know why my ask.
Me don't know what you say.
I team job that and a spoon piece.
Your question vague because we not discuss who is a Maroon and what's a Maroon. As a Maroon is a name of the Spanish then give the runaways them as a derogatory name.
Facts.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
As a matter of fact, Suubi, before the slaves were given that, are the cattle's them. Are the wild cattle's them.
The wild cattle's them. So them get the name Maroons. Wild people.
It was the cattle's first. The wild cattle's them called Maroons. And then when the slaves start to run away and mix with the Taino, them call the whole of them Maroons. From the Spanish word was Cimarron. You get what I'm saying?
Just go on, Russ Gottites, just take them and go and listen, man. When we present argument, we present evidence. We not curry flavor things. Curry flavor things. We present argument. If you can't counter the argument with in-depth research. When we are talking, we not talk out of those hot ear. With the research on the thing and present information and evidence. That's what we go by. We live by that. You understand? So here we go on. Me not think you want to be a part of the discussion.
No, make him stay, man. Make him stay. He might learn something,
man. Him not come to learn. Him come to this one.
He come to agitate.
Yeah, man. I chorus him.
Word.
The 13, Captain Kojo with his people shall cut clear and keep open large and convenient roads. So they have free labor. 14th. This is the part where you want to get to, brother. 14th. Zane?
Yes.
This is key. This is key. 14th. Pay attention, people. That 2 white men to be nominated by His Excellency or the Commander-in-Chief for the time being shall constantly live and reside with Captain Kojo and his successors in order to maintain a friendly correspondence with the inhabitants of this island.
All right. That's the trick now. That's how the Maroons got tricked, because guess what? These 2 white men were supposed to be the middlemen between the Maroons and the Crown. So these 2 white men, right, eliminated the direct correspondence between the Maroons and the Crown. So at the end of the day, it took away the validity of the Maroons. If me can go directly to the Crown, who am I in status?
So to this day, when Korea hope to meet the Prince and the Duchess, it's just L.A. Lewis, what you call it now, ambitions. It's simple as that. Him not have no grounds, him not have no, what you call it now, sovereignty or him is not a state for them visit. Him have to fall in line with every Jamaican and hope they can get a chance to say hi.
And Suubi, another trick to this, to number 14, is that these white men were given the title of superintendent.
Exactly.
And these superintendents were in charge of the affairs of the Maroon communities.
So 15th, which tied to 14, Captain Kojo shall, during his life, be chief commander in Trelawny town. After his decease, the command to develop on his brother, Captain Akompong. And in his decease, on his next brother, Captain Johnny. And failing him, Captain Coffee shall succeed. Who is to be succeeded by Captain Kwaku? This is key.
Very, very important. And it's very misleading as well.
Mr. Corey and the Maroons, them will claim, say them a sovereign state, pay attention to this. I said them appoint people. And after all their demises, the governor or commander-in-chief for the time being shall appoint from time to time who he thinks fit for that command.
Very important. Very, very important, Suubi.
People them could not select Corey to be no chief.
Very important. Let me show you this now.
Not valid.
Suubi, Kojo died in 1764, and Akompong left Akompong town, went to Trelawny town, and said, "I'm a chief now." The superintendent, which was the white man who was there, said, "No, you're not no chief over here." Took away the badge from him. You hear me tell you? And appointed someone else. And that's historical fact. So based on this treaty, right, Akompong should have been the chief of the Trelawny town after Kojo's passing in 1764. And that was not the case. The superintendent was in charge after Kojo's death. And this is historical records. This is not regurgitating a little hearsay. Not only that, Suubi, Coffee and Kwaku were not Leeward Maroons. They were Windward Maroons. But again now, the treaty was based on Kojo being the head of all Maroons in Jamaica because of his supposed affiliation with with Kwaku and Nani and stuff like that. But this treaty was not applicable to the Windward Maroons. That's the reason why the British had to do a separate treaty for the Windward Maroons after the 1738 treaty.
Wow. I'm just because time is of importance. I mean, know people want to go watch a Super Bowl. I'm gonna play. I wanted to play this video, this discussion or this conversation with Kabu Ma'at, because I think this is important for us to understand what is really going on with this Curry brother. Right? It's. I don't want people to take this. I hear Sir P mention something about this Curry brother. True intentions, and I'm really checking his demeanor, his way how him try agitate, you know, like him's an agitator, try agitate some form of unrest or division among the people. Them like him, I try get Jamaicans say jump on him side and then put out information that them want mind the cockpit country and that's why I fight feet. And them thing get on the people's the people's weak spot. And of course, people are going to support that because people are saying no mining, no mining, no mining. So it is important for me to play this video based on what people claim say are the reason why they support Curry. Yeah? Because the whole supporting of the whole Curry flavor is because of the whole cockpit country. Nobody never did a talk about this man before the cockpit country argument. But the truth be told, is it really about saving the ecosystem? Is that the case? Or is there a bigger plan where we overlook? If it's destabilized. You see? Notice everything this man documented and put it forward to the media and put it forward to the public because he want to get the public them riled up. So something in something. I could check where I go and know if I really, when him say I fight for. You see? Him not come have them discussion with we.
Nah, come on. No, they not come at all.
Daniel come and tell be a lie.
Yeah, he nah, come on.
But it backfire because the Maroon chief, quote unquote chief, where am I go with? Him I go with the treaty. Want to listen to this thing here. This may be more important than the Super Bowl. This is a key piece of key information from Sister Kabu Mahat, and I respect our Sister Kabu Mahat. Seeing went in on this with this interview, and she's trying to interview Curry where I hide her. It seems because her knowledge of the whole treaty and everything is more advanced than the people who interview Curry. We venerate the Maroons them, the sellout them, the traitors them.
Suubi, before
traitors, but if you don't Maroon and venerate Maroons, and when we talk with the Maroons them do, that means we not support the traitor them.
Yeah, Suubi, before you go into that, right? Back to Article 15 of the treaty, right?
Right.
Article 15 of the treaty shows that even Richard Curry has no legitimacy.
That's what I said.
Because at the end of the day, it says that after Kojo and
is the white man must come appoint.
All right. So we want to know if it's the white man represented by the crown appoint Richard Curry. If not, he has no legitimacy. None.
No, that's why I put out sound saying want me to the Duchess and
because apparently he want them to appoint him then or to validate him.
This is the end of another video. If you like what you see, you can go ahead and check out Mr. Vegas' other shows over there on Facebook. Yes, the Mr. Vegas show. Yeah, man, so you go and go check them out. If you know like the video, you go ahead and drop a like. If you not share it yet, go ahead and share. And also, if you not subscribe yet, do so now so you know what go on. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay safe. Oh, let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Drop a comment in a respectful way. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.